where you think you've learned, but in the long run, what have you learned? Yeah, but unfortunately, the trial by error is causes a little bit of disaster along the way.
Actually.
But it's really exciting. It's exciting to talk to people that were there, and every time we talk to somebody else or we go and investigate something,
you find something else that leads to somebody else.
And I bet there's somebody somewhere that has got some of this information.
Oh, absolutely. We keep on asking.
I would love anybody that had pictures or
even a story, pictures of their family coming down, like our history day that we just had.
Yeah.
People walk up and say, well, when I was here in the 50s, then, well, that's becoming history. Right. I mean, if you've got pictures of you on the swim team in the 50s, we'd love to see that too.
And we're working on a book, and I just think that getting more and more knowledge brings all the captions to life. It's a amusement park postcard history book.
Well, I was down in Avalon, New Jersey. It seems weird to go from a vacation city similar to where I'm living, but that's where we go every year. And we went to a show down there similar to what you guys just had. And it was interesting because the night we were there, somebody came in whose father was one of the lifeguards in the photos, and they were learning a lot, like you're just asking.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if? And that night there was this wonderful person that came in and filled them in on a lot of the blank spaces. And sooner or later, that's probably what's going to happen, little by little.
Yes, because it seems like, in fact, I was making mention of somebody telling me at one point, when he was very young, they used to take the floats from our club and from Bailey, and they would tie them together, and that's where the fireworks were. Well, Lisa's been at Roton Point a lot longer than I have, and the other couple of women ever goes, nobody else knew it. So it's one of those things where you think it's just a simple thing that everybody knows, and it really isn't.
Well, it's like the other night when at our fireworks, I was sitting next to someone probably in your, when you get to my age, it's hard to judge ages. So I don't know how old this guy was. I said, were you here the night that they actually set off all the fireworks at once? And he didn't even hear about it. And I thought, wow, it's one of the highlights of my life is everybody's down there, and you're ready for this couple of almost an hour's worth of fireworks, and it's all over in less than 10 minutes.
Right, the finale starts it off.
But it's certainly a wonderful memory.
Yeah. But those are the stories that we would love people to come and tell us about, or if they have anything we could copy and put on digital and return to them. Yeah. We'd love to come up with anything like that.
That'd be great. Yeah, and it's the fireworks that when I talk to people that grew up in and around Roton Point that they remember the most. They always mention there was Friday night fireworks every Friday night.
Yes. Sort of like Playland still has them on Wednesdays. It's the same type of thing.
Well, it's also interesting that when you're at the fireworks, because you can see fireworks in other cities across the Sound and to the right, left, and so on. And everybody said, well, why would you be looking over there? And I said, well, it's just the very fact that it's there. It's sort of compelling. The fact that you can imagine all these people sitting in there going through the same thing you are.
Right. It's almost like a tennis match sometimes. So you're watching this one and you're watching this one, and
it goes back and forth, back and forth.
Well, we're down to, there's only about 5 minutes left of this, so is there anything that, is there anything very specific about the history and so on that we might have missed that you're talking about right now?
No, well, we had our history day last weekend.
That was terrific.
And it was great. We have a new film that Dave Hogaboom's put together, which is wonderful. Really brings to life, you feel like you're almost there with Frank Raymond walking through and describing all the places. And
I felt when I was watching it, I kept looking for myself because I've been on most of his walks. Obviously I kind of been on all of them because I don't know how many years he was doing it.
Yeah.
But those were just absolutely wonderful.
Right, and we brought to life his book, Rowayton on the Half Shell, which was.
I interviewed him at least 3 or 4 times on this show, and it's such a joy to have already talked to these people. I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
So, But,
and he has it seamless. I mean, he did new footage. We had the Model A Club come down to Roton Point, and we shot in sepia tone with a little crackle, and it's hard to know which what is the old photos and what's the things
Oh,
that
right,
he's
right.
It's
brought to
beautifully
life.
done.
So yeah, he really has done a good job with that.
But, you know, the transition of it being an amusement park to what it is today has taken many years, and in '84, the people that had been there for many years were the people that turned around and bought it and prevented it from being just condominiums on the shore.
Oh, right,
So
right.
they, you know,
Oh, that's, we're so
And
lucky.
that was sort of what we were also celebrating last
Yeah.
week. That was our anniversary of 25 years of owning
Yeah.
Roton Point.
Because, you know, of course, I remember that, but it's amazing how we know that how fast time goes anyway. But when people tell me, well, right now, like I've known you all your life, and it's impossible to separate various points of it, because it's all sort of fuses together.
Right.
And until you've lived it, you don't understand what you think you do, but you don't. I remember being in high school, and our teacher was telling us about how fast time goes, and we're all saying, "Yeah, we know." Well,
Well, that's what,
so-
History Day, afterwards, we had a meeting and we sort of discussed about how it went. And the missing part was that there weren't as many children. So next year,
And
we're
young
hoping
couples,
to
yeah.
sort
Yeah,
of
that's right.
figure
Yeah,
out
yeah.
ways to engage the children, to let them know more about what happened there.
And their younger parents that
I was
are in
thinking
their
of
30s,
focusing
you said.
actually on the Carousel, because New England Carousel does an outreach program, and they can come down and show
Yes.
the Carousel.
Yes.
And
you could rebuild
And
the
how they were,
carousel.
well,
Yeah.
they do. They show how they built them
Yeah.
and carved these beautiful
And they're doing
exotic
a Lost
animals and such.
Carousels of Connecticut theme next year, so it'll be interesting to sort of
Yeah.
delve into Roton Point's
Wonder if
carousels.
it'd be possible to
what happened to everything.
Wonder if it'd be possible to get a couple of the horses on loan.
Well,
yeah.
we might be able to get, what we've been trying to do is find what
they
was
have a
left
carver.
over
They have a
from ours, too.
Yeah, they have a carver that comes out, and it actually shows you how they carve the
Oh,
Yeah.
the horses.
But there
yeah.
were horses left over
Yeah.
after the
Hurricane.
hurricane, but we don't know where they went.
Well, some of them went to Germany. They got
What-
repaired, and then they
Yeah.
came back.
what
But
happened
then
in
they
the
disappeared.
And they went to Wildwood.
52, 53 hurricane? 54?
The flood of 55.
Was it 55?
I believe so.
The flood of 55, actually I was talking to Tom Robinson last weekend,
Yep.
and he said that's when his mom took him down to Bailey Beach and noticed that the water had eroded everything, that the roller coaster tracks are still there
Oh.
under the
Incident-
sand.
I'm sorry I brought this up, because we are suddenly at the point where we're out of time.
I know.
Oh.
But I want to thank you both for being here.
Okay.
And
Thanks for
well,
having us.
we're obviously
Thank
we're going
you.
to do this again. So we'll.
Yeah,
and-
there's so
and
many
you-
things to add.
Yeah, you come back, and you come back, and thank you very much for being here, and thank you for being here.
Thank you,
you.
Jerry.
All right.